Hello, everyone, and welcome to another horror review. Yes, I know, so long since you seen me last time. Right, here we are, movie 2 of the marathon. Let's crack on and do it. This is kind of the opposite of what I was talking about last time. So we're talking about Alice in Terrorland. A recently bereaved teenage girl goes to live with her grandmother in a secluded woodland house, unaware that sinister forces lurk within. So if you haven't figured out, this is a kind of play on words, playing the original tale, Alice in Wonderland, and oh my god, this has to be one of the most clumsiest films I've ever encountered. This could have been good. They had the setting, they had, well, all the characters except Alice. The girl that plays Alice, I don't know what they're trying to do with her, but they had everybody else in place, and this could have been really good and gripping, but it was just thrown together. I'm starting to see a bit of a pattern. So at the beginning of this movie, you're seeing all the stamps, this commission, that commission, the other commission. So this has been funded by loads of commissions. So you can kind of tell it's going to be an artsy fartsy piece. And essentially, it's a grift. Everyone's just shitting something onto the screen just to pocket the money and get away. That's kind of how this works with these sort of movies. Such a shame to do it with horror as well. But say the way, I suppose we'll have to take our fair share of crap with everything else. So we'll start off, and there's a sort of cutscene. Start off with a scene with a burning building and a fire brigade and police arriving. Now, here's what gets me: this movie is set in England, yet that scene could have been anywhere in the world. It could have been American. It does not look English. It looks like they've found generic footage of a house burning, and maybe the news reporting have cut things out, but really ham-fisted and lazy. They're doing it for shock value, but it really looks bad. Just the initial intro. If it looks more like it was in America than it was England. Just the way the house is built and shaped and everything else that's going on. But if that was my only problem, I wouldn't bring it up. I would kind of skip past it, fair enough. But we'll have Alice. Now, I don't know what age it says of the teenage girl, but the way she talks and the way they're presenting her, it's almost like they want her to be a young child, like Alice herself in the story. But they've got a fully grown adult playing her. So you've got a fully grown adult playing a teenager slash almost prepubescent. That's what they're trying to come across. And her dialogue is atrocious. I mean, she sounds simple. It really does sound like she's not all there, that there's something wrong. Just the dialogue alone, it's really bad. And then there's scenes, so effectively she goes to arrive at her grandmother's house, and of course, it's a horror house. It's, that no paint on the walls, everything's musty and dark, and I think they threw a few cobwebs in for good measure. They're just beating you over the head with, this is a horror house, right? And the grandmother's all, like, this girl's never met her grandmother, apparently, and nothing comes up why. And then the grandmother is talking to her like she is an infant, and she's acting like one, and it's weird. It's just strange, It's, do you know when the logic centers don't join the dots, and you're going, this isn't right? When you're presented with something on screen, and then dialogue doesn't match with the actors and everything else that's going on, and it's jarring to look at because it does. Your logic centers don't connect, and you're just like, this does not make sense. So the long short of the story is her parents were killed in the fire. She's now orphaned, and she was in a home briefly while they went and searched for another relative. And turns out the only other relative is this grandmother, who she's never met before, and the parents don't talk to, and nobody else talks to. Just go with it. Don't try and find logic in this. This is just an illogical art fest. It's just nerdy farty, whatever. This is where they could have been good. So sure enough, after being in the house for a length of time, Alice starts to dream. And in the dream, she starts to meet characters, from the tale. Here's the thing. You get the impression they're trying to tell her story. So usually with sort of supernatural dramas, it's a mystery that's being unfolded, and the other realms trying to communicate, and they use metaphor, and in this case, dreams. So essentially, it's almost as if they're trying to tell her something, but we get no payoff. Like we meet the rabbit, and it's just it's a bloke in a mask, just in a rabbit mask, and you get the idea something sinister is going on. And she's talking to him, in the now. If she had used the Alice voice, this strange prepubescent dialogue, if she used that in the dream state and then spoke normally in the awake state, this could have been great. But they keep her same dialogue throughout, and that's why it gets really jarring. It makes sense when she's in the dream state, as if she's because the grandmother starts to read her a bedtime story. Like this is a girl in her 20s. Actually, let's have a look. Picture Dorian Gray, 2023, Kingdom of the Sea. Doesn't tell her age. Right, this is not a kid. And this is 2023. She's a grown adult. If you look at the IMDb page, she's a bloody grown adult, the actress. So she's in bed and the grandmother's reading her tale, and as the reading of the tale, it makes her go into the dream state. This is going on in her ear, she falls asleep, and then she's starting to unpack stuff. It's painful. And then it's when we meet the rabbit, and then we meet Tweedledee and Tweedledum, or their versions of them, and they're not twins. It's a girl who's effectively being murdered, who's also interacting with her murdered self as a metaphor. So there's a story here to unpack. So is Alice going to uncover something, and then we find out there's a serial killer running about, and this is where you realize it is in England because it's using our roads and our signs and stuff and buildings. So that scene at the beginning, like I'm talking about, just does make sense because it doesn't fit in with this. But then this whole movie doesn't make sense. So we're seeing her getting snatched, her watching herself as her twin self getting snatched on the road. And yeah. And you think that would be the focus of the story. Okay, is she going to try and give this girl peace? No, nothing to do with that at all. And then we meet the Mad Hatter. And really his character serves absolutely no purpose. In fact, the rabbit was serving more purpose. Because he's talking about people were late for the party, so they'll get killed, and stuff like that. And it's almost like, are the victims like trying to communicate to her? Is she like a nexus point or something? There's an interesting premise built up here, but you get absolutely no payoff. And then it goes about halfway through the movie. Okay, who is the Red Queen? Well, if you don't know the grandmother's the Red Queen, like about first time it's uttered, you're like, because you kind of know there's not really a large cast. I must see the grandmother, like, you're meant to think, is she poisoning her or is she not? Herbal remedies all from the garden, and yet you see her breaking capsules. And as she's going, and she's given a frigging teddy bear to go to bed with, and she takes it, it's like, oh, it's weird. It just, they should have got a younger actor. If they wanted to play that, they should have got a younger actor to do it. It would have fitted in. And if they didn't want to do that, then they shouldn't have had those, like, her talking the way she talked in the awake state, and effectively getting read fairy tales and getting teddy. It's just, I'd almost say it's almost like a fetish being played out. I know it's my second time I've brought up fetishes, but it's the only way I can think about it. There's something weird going on here, and it's not healthy. Let's just put it like that. The way they're portraying this girl is not healthy. But this kind of meanders on. And thankfully, it's only like an hour, 20 minutes. It's a shorter movie. I must say that there's the Cheshire Ripper, is going about. She's almost visiting him. It's very the Lovely Bones sort of vibe to it. If it was good, you could have drawn parallels to the Lovely Bones. That she's being talked to by victims or stuff's going on. And this house is, like I said, it's a focal point and it's bringing all supernatural forces in. There's loads to happen here, but we're getting none of that. Basically, what we get is the grandmother's trying to poison her. The grandmother's poisoning her because she wants her money, because she wants to keep her house. And then she's hinting that she might have had something to do with her parents, which doesn't make sense. There's no joining the dots or anything. It's just a random out of the thing. Just like I said, it's bloody painful. They have some sort of fight, and then Alice burns down the house that she's in, with the grandmother, and rescues the kittens, because, yeah. And then you're thinking, okay, did Alice kill her parents? And is this Alice's psychosis playing? But once again, you get no payoff, because the next thing you see, it transitions in a drone shot of London, and she's in a flowery dress sitting scribbling on a bit of paper, and that's it, the end. No payoff, no explanation, no rhyme or reason. Did the Ripper exist? Was she getting an insight into his life? Were these metaphors? Was it herself? Like, there's nothing here. You get no explanation. And honestly, it's a disappointing and frustrating watch, because this could have been good. There's enough there, but nothing gets followed through. That's the problem. And the plot twist at the end, which is not a plot twist because you kind of see it coming a mile off, doesn't pay off either. And then, so Alice is orphaned. She goes to live with her grandmother for 5 minutes, and now she can just run about as an adult. What is this movie? Yeah, there you go. That's that. Yeah, I'm not going to spend too long delivering it. It's just shit movie. It's just a classic. Here's a grift. Here's some sponsorship. Here's some government funding. Here, we'll throw some money in your back pocket. Throw something on the screen so the arty farties can all pat each other in the back. That's what this movie is. Such a shame because, like I said, there's potential there, but they wasted it. Anyway, there you go. There is that one. Yeah, I'm kind of racing through these reviews. Not really much to talk about. So next up, we have Arcadian. So we're going to get some Nicolas Cage goodness. So I'm going to go watch that, and then once I'm done, I'll be back on to talk about it. So just needs me to say, keep up to date with the channel, do the type of thinky things. Until next time, keep it creepy, keep it horrific.